Madcap Music Review, and we're here with Ven from Venrez. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Doing good. It's been a while.
Yeah, about a year ago there at the Key Club or something.
That's when we first caught your eye, or you caught us. You know, we were there just randomly.
Right.
And you guys were, this was during Sell the Lie era, I suppose, right at the beginning.
Right.
And we walked in, and I could hear this unmistakable Lane Staley voice, and I'm like, what? I'm like, there's no Alice in Chains tribute band on tonight. What is this? And then it was you. And we've been following you guys since, and it's been amazing. You've toured with Alice Cooper. You just got off the road with Slash. You're about to go into Europe and do a major tour with Buck Cherry. And then you just put out this huge video for Unforeseen where the production is just phenomenally, just ridiculously good. And then Temptress of the Moon.
Oh, you like that song?
That's the song, I think, that the song that really hooked me on the first album was I really liked Karma a lot.
Well, that was off Sell the Lie.
Yeah, off Karma.
But the songs you're talking about are off the new release,
yeah.
American Illusion.
Right.
Right.
That's a good 10-minute plus song right there.
Well, yeah, I think we kind of like beat you up for like 8 tracks. And right when you think you know who we are, we hit you with our alternative cover of The Beat Goes On, and then take you out with Temptress of the Moon. So we kind of throw a couple curveballs at you at the end of the album.
Yeah, and you did a little bit of that on Sell the Lie. You did a cover of, what was it, Can't Find My Way Home by...
Right. Yeah, there was a movie we had a shot to get a song on a soundtrack, and so we recorded Can't Find My Way Home and and The Beat Goes On for a couple major motion picture soundtracks. I really enjoyed covering Can't Find My Way Home. It's been one of my favorite songs.
Blind Faith.
Blind Faith, Stevie Winwood. And most people that have covered it, you know, go up high like Stevie Winwood.
Right.
So we decided to slow it way down.
Yeah, you did. You chilled it out. Like
come
big time.
in kind of like Jim Morrison heroin baritone thing.
Like you took a melancholy song and made it even more melancholy. I didn't know that was possible,
I like
but
our
you did.
version of it, and I really enjoy singing it, you know, and it's a great song for us to play live, and we've played it live on tour. We played it live on tour, our second tour to Europe in June and July of 2011, and you know, people relate to the song. We were on tour with Fuel in January and February, and we played the Super Bowl Village show.
That's right.
Like 3 days before the Super Bowl.
That's right. That's right.
In 2012,
Uh-huh.
and we played for like 53,000 people, and we did play that song, and it seemed that the crowd really liked it.
And what a lot of people, I think, may not realize is you're a writer by nature. I mean, you've been writing since you were a kid.
That's right.
You know, you majored in journalism at, what was it, UMass?
Yeah, no, actually, University of Missouri.
Missouri, that's right.
Yeah, Columbia, Missouri. Mizzou Tigers! Yeah!
There you go.
I'm an educated rock star.
Yeah. So you had a band going on when you were in your teens, and then the whole LA scene was kind of dying out, and you walked away. Amazingly enough, you walked away, and then you went and you were doing like signatures, not like autographed ones, but like, I mean, like pieces of like memorabilia.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, my late teens, you know, we had a band together for a few months. It was sounding good, and then everybody, they were all flaky, and it kind of fell apart. This isn't Liverpool or London or, you know, there isn't a wealth of musicians, especially at that time. So it was virtually impossible to try to put something back together. So I did walk away from it. I did get into rare collectibles, you know, like you said, and I did that for a long time. And then quite by accident, a producer friend of mine walked into my house when I was in the middle of singing a karaoke set.
Uh-huh.
I used to sing karaoke through my PA and dance around for like an hour to stay in shape.
Really?
It worked, by the way.
That was your exercise?
That was, and he was this producer friend of mine who didn't know I could sing, and he walked in and demanded I go in the studio, and
So was it like
I really fought it for a long time, but I went in, started singing. Next thing I knew, I had a band. Next thing I knew, did my first show ever at the Viper Room in November 2009. Sold out, Saturday night, first show ever. It's pretty crazy. And, you know, 6 world tours later, here I am, talking to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Never give up your dreams, rock and roll.
But that's a crazy thing. I mean, there was a good, like, 2-decade, like, out of the music scene thing, you know, where you're doing your own thing, and then it just happens. And that, like you say, you never give up on your dream.
Well, I kind of stayed in it. You know, I did some producing. managed a couple bands, got them major recording contracts. But I had thought many years ago that my chances of fronting a rock band were long gone. And boy, I guess I was wrong about that.
Yeah, no, you're dead wrong.
Thank you, Lord.
Right?
Yeah. So we're playing tonight with the Babies here at the Roxy. And we're looking forward to rocking it up. We're going on tour with Buck Cherry all through Europe, starting in Hamburg, Germany on November 5th.
No.
So if any of you are going to be in Europe or any European fans, check out your site. Go to Venrez, Venrez, theband.com, and check our tour schedule for November and December.
What I was curious about too is there's a certain cynicism within your lyrics, and you're very political. And so you're going to be playing Belfast, and did you consider like how that's going to go over? Or is there like a impetus for bringing it out even more when you play in areas like that?
I don't even. No, we don't think about that. I mean, we plan our set list, we go play it, and we don't really think about it. I do write some very politically charged songs. I feel a responsibility to write lyrics that teach and send a message. I write songs about history, which my good friend Tommy Joho Johnson calls my science fiction songs, much like Vultures, off American Illusion, which I wrote kind of about after I saw the movie 300. But I write, songs about everyday life, about pain and sorrow, about love, about being deceived by friends, things of that particular nature. Karma
definitely has a vibe like that.
And so I think there's, good stories and messages and life lessons in everything I write. But I do take a shot at political governments and corporate greed on every album. Sell the Lie was the song off that album.
And it was interesting that I don't know if you wrote I'm assuming prior to, but the video just happened to hit right at the time of the elections, and it was like, did they plan this out? But if you do your research, no, you didn't.
No,
it just meshed.
No,
it's almost like you foresaw something.
Actually, it's a little different than what you said. I mean, we did the Alice Cooper tour. We decided to use footage from that to make the video, and we put the video out. And then when the presidential debate started, I called my manager, and I said, hey, I think it'd be a great idea, to edit in footage from the debates.
Oh, okay.
And he agreed. So my drummer, Ed Davis, edited that in, and we put out a new version. But you can Sell the Lie applies to everything. It applies to whether you believe the Boston bombing was planned or not, or September 11th was pre-planned, or we blew it up, or whatever.
This change.
You want to spin off on your boyfriend or girlfriend or brother or sister or friend lying to you. False advertising. To blood for oil money.
It's that dichotomy.
Which is what I wrote it about.
That dichotomy. You're putting up one face, but you got a whole different one.
Yeah, it applies to everything. And then on the American Illusion, our new album, which released on July 30th of this year, the song on that album where I take a shot's Intellectual Drool. And I wrote that.
I love the title. Speaking of taking shots, let's get a shot of the cover.
Let's get a shot of that cover.
That's a bit of a shot right there.
Yeah, American Illusions.
Right, with the flag upside down. I dig that.
But I got to tell you this: the day after they announced they killed Bin Laden, I wrote the song "Intellectual Drool," and that's my political shot that I took on American Illusion. The rest of the album, I don't think there's any real political songs.
You've given compared to Morrison quite a bit.
Yeah, you brought up Lane Staley. I
I
have a low baritone I go down to that Lane did. Chris Cornell's probably another singer who does that. He's probably, I think, the greatest rock singer on earth today, right up there with Steve Tyler. But I have, kind of this exact kind of baritone notes that Morrison had that I don't think any singer has ever had other than Morrison and myself. I'm not singing down that low all the time. I go high and low, but when I go there, people really feel Jim Morrison. And a lot of Doors fans really enjoy what I do on stage.
Well, Temptress of the Moon gets very spacey, and it's a good 9-minute plus song.
Yeah.
I mean,
we always have one of those on there.
It's one of your. It's one of those when the music's over type gigs.
Yeah. Well, My Only Light, which is on the Sell the Lie album, is much like that. And that's written based on a letter I read, written by Joshua Chamberlain, the Union General, and laying face down in the mud, musket balls flying over our head. Probably one of my favorite songs.
So how have you managed? I mean, the LA scene is oversaturated, as I'm sure you know.
It is.
And here you come, just walk back into it and boom, blow up. Is there animosity amongst the so-called road warriors that have put in their time?
Yeah, they don't like me. There's a lot of jealousy. You got a lot of lifers, and actually I've been doing this for 4 years. So you go on tour with guys that worked their life to get to where they are in such a short period of time.
Sure.
I'm opening for Slash and Alice Cooper. In a very short period of time, I'm going up there and delivering like someone who's been doing it 20 or 25 years, and that's bound to bring some envy and jealousy to it. But I pay no attention to it. For all I know, some of my band members feel that way. Who knows? There might be one or two. Maybe one,
You got some good talent in that band too, with Jason.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have a great band.
Jason Womack, wow.
Everybody's great. Jason Womack's a genius. I call him the professor. And he writes the music, produces all the music, and I write the lyrics. Sometimes he comes up with some brilliant additions or changes to my lyrics. And we've written a lot of songs together. We've recorded 3 albums together. There's another album out called
the first one, Which Is Brew, 2010.
It's a different band, though.
Was it different members?
Different members except for me and Jason.
Okay.
And then we replaced everybody else. Alex on guitar, Alex King came on guitar. We brought Ed Davison on drums and Michael Bradford on bass. And then we wrote Sell the Lie. And so, Sell the Lie.
Is that Alex from Life, Sex, and Death?
Yeah. Alex Kane was the guitar player in Life, Sex, and Death.
I saw them open up for the Electric Love Hogs and Infectious Grooves in '92 at the Gibson. Well, Universal Amphitheater.
He's in our band, and that's the way it goes.
And one of the things that really is super impressive is you guys just did an acoustic show for one of your fans in their home.
Yeah, we sure did.
How did that come about?
We had a contest, and one of our fans, Leslie Morrison, won a private unplugged show in her living room. And she had it at her boss's house at some mansion in Calabasas.
No, that's pretty nice.
And we went there, and they had a great catered party, 30, 40 people, and we sat down and delivered them a nice unplugged set. Alice in Chains, MTV Unplugged, 90s kind of thing.
Well, that's what I was wondering. How do you do a song like Unforeseen, which is just so balls to the walls?
Yeah, you don't.
Unplugged.
We have a bunch of acoustic songs that are not really Venrez songs. And usually it's Jason and I, doing a radio interview on tour.
Sure.
When they want us to play, we play those.
Okay.
But they're not really Venrez songs. So the band had to learn some of those.
Okay.
And then, there were some songs, like Can't Find My Way Home, also Karma, that were in Melting, which was off the Sell the Lie album that we were able to do. So we were able to come up with a nice set, And it came out, it was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed doing it.
That's excellent. So where's the best place? I know you got to hit the stage soon. What's the best way for people to find you? And I know on Facebook, you're one of the rare musicians that actually will talk to the fans. They'll post something and you'll reply.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen a lot. Like
no,
you kind of broken the fourth wall, I guess.
You know what? What I really don't like are rock stars full of themselves that just don't understand that the fans are why they have a job and a career. So yeah, I spend 4 to 8 hours every day talking to fans, and they're really excited, like, oh my God, they can't believe, oh my God, he's talking to me.
Yeah, right.
But I'm like, oh my God, without you, I have no career. It's a lot of work, and you have to earn your fans today one at a time.
Sure.
And you have to build it up from the ground up. And that's why we have 373,000 likes.
Well, that's a crazy thing. I remember when we first saw you guys, you were something like 9,000, and then you blew up. Alice Cooper, Slash, now Buck Cherry. You've toured the world, was this your 6th time, you're saying?
Yeah, our sixth world tour. This is our 7th. We've done 6. And our 3rd tour of Europe. I think the Alice Cooper tour really broke us big. In the year just prior to the Alice Cooper tour, and the next 8-10 months after that, we went from 14,000 likes to over 300,000, And so, people are catching on to who we are here in the United States, but overseas they know who we are, much more than the United States, which is sad, but that's the way it is. Anyway, maybe we'll change that soon.
Thank you, Ven. Appreciate it. Ven, check him out
Rock
online.
and roll, everybody. Time to go.
Do the real deal. American Illusion. Get your copy now.
Thank you.
Independently produced.
Madcap Magazine rocks.
Thank you, brother.